Hey, it's a Helmet Collector here, and today's video I have a pretty interesting item to show you guys. It's been a while since we've shown off any ground dug items on the channel, and this one has a bit of an interesting story to it. So here is a very badly damaged German M31 Canteen with cup here. As you can see, this is a matching set. They have the same damage on them. They came together from the same seller. The canteen itself here is an early aluminum M31 type. And if we flip over here, we can actually see it's maker marked ESB 35 for 1935 production. And we actually still have a little bit of the leather here from what's left of the strap. There's a little bit left on the cup as well. And we can see a massive shrapnel strike. It looks like it went in at this angle through the top of the canteen here. And we see matching damage on the cup as well, which is not matching, unfortunately. This one is marked AWG 38. So a couple years later, not too uncommon to have non-matching sets of these. And yeah, like I said, these fit together. I mean, you can see where the damage kind of all lines up here. Now, what's really interesting about this canteen is that this allegedly was recovered from the site of the Battle of Kovel, or Kovel. Apologize if I'm butchering that name. But Kovel, the Battle of Kovel took place in 1944. This was part of the Polesskoe Offensive, which is where the Soviets, particularly in this case the 2nd Belorussian Front, were assaulting positions of 2nd Army and 4th Panzer Armee right at the junction of army groups south and center. And the offensive began on March 15th. The Soviets end up pretty quickly encircling Kovel, and about 4,000 German soldiers end up being trapped in the encirclement. Now, Kovel is declared a fortress, a Festung, meaning that the men that are stuck inside are expected to fight to the last cartridge, the last man, basically, and hold off the Soviets as long as possible. And of the 4,000 men in the pocket, this seems to mostly be SS soldiers from various units. There are a couple other miscellaneous soldiers that end up getting stuck in there as well, along with a couple hundred railway workers. So once the Kovel fortress had been encircled, the Germans did attempt a relief effort, which was spearheaded by a Panther unit of SS Wiking, specifically the 5th SS Panzer Regiment. And unlike a lot of German counterattacks that take place in the early part of 1944, they're actually successful in breaking the encirclement of Kovel. So the Panthers, literally, from the accounts I've read, seem to have just rolled right off the trains into combat. And they managed to push through several lines of Soviet defense through a couple villages there and eventually link up with the units that are defending Kovel and help them effect a withdrawal from the encirclement. Now, the Panthers are not going it alone, of course. They are being supported by infantry, in this particular case, units from the 131st Infantry Division. And this is a pretty significant event on the Eastern Front at this point because it's one of the very rare German, calling it a victory seems wrong, but it's one of the very rare German, not defeats of this part of the war. Now, of course, coming up here in June, we're going to have Operation Bagration kicking off, and that's going to absolutely destroy Army Group Center and pretty much lead to the rapid collapse of German forces in the east. But of all of the Soviet assaults that are taking place in the first couple months of 1944, this is like the one place where the Germans actually managed to pull out a draw, I guess you could call it maybe. Now, of course, the battle damage here is very severe. And the way that these canteens would be worn, at least from what I've seen in the photos, they would have been sitting like this on the back right hip. So the leg would have been right about here. So assuming this was actually being worn when the damage was done to it, it's pretty safe to assume the soldier wearing this would have been killed or severely wounded instantly. I mean, that piece of shrapnel probably would have gone straight through his leg, lower torso. It would have been a very nasty wound. And of course, this one piece of kit doesn't give us the full picture. This piece took a nasty shrapnel strike. Was that the only piece of shrapnel that hit him when this happened? Or were there other pieces of shrapnel that hit him elsewhere? It's impossible to know for sure. And of course, this canteen could have been lying on the ground and happened to take a strike that way. There's really no way to know. But yeah, definitely a very ghastly reminder of how devastating shrapnel damage can be. And also a very unique piece tied to a German thrust that ends up providing a little bit of success there in early 1944. So yeah, overall, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment down below. Love hearing from you. Thank you all for watching. Happy collecting, and I'll see y'all again very soon.